Hi, sorry, I was listening to my wife's conversation with her mother. We sent her mother some grapefruits.
Yeah, we
Hey,
shouldn't do a message. We had a problem with it.
can I chime in?
Oh yeah, hold on. My Eric wants to chime
I
in.
just wanted to say that this is carrying on a Strauss family tradition because my parents used to order those grapefruits every year.
Did they? Oh, that was a nice idea. Well, thank you very much. And actually, Rachel was saying that I could share them with a neighbor. And to tell you the truth, they're from Vero Beach, Florida.
Oh yeah?
And my neighbor, who moved here about a year ago, is from Vero Beach, Florida.
Oh my gosh.
Cool, fantastic.
So I'll have to run that past her and see if she knows exactly where we were talking about. But thank you very much. I really appreciate the thought, especially that was very kind of you and very generous. And I appreciate it.
Oh, I'm glad. I hope you enjoy them.
Our pleasure. Okay, sorry, I had to do a little bit of social stuff there for a second. Now I'm back over here. Well, it looks like a couple of boxes here. This one is to Rachel from Mom. That's nice. This one is to Rachel from Zandy.
Oh wow. I got two. We got two boxes.
One from your mom and one from Zandy.
And I'm wondering who the other, I think I might know who the other might be from.
The other's from Zandy, actually.
Oh no, actually, our friend Zandy and from you. Is the
Sorry, there's a lot of distractions here at the beginning of this. Or bad. Now you have my attention. Hi Mean Bird. Hi Chris Chapin. Hi Tarek Romadin. Tarek Romadin. Hi. I can't really read the text very well because I don't have my glasses. But I'll go in a second. Then I'll be able to read what it says. In the meantime, Rachel's mom got the grapefruits that we sent her. Uh, which are not exactly the same grapefruit that my parents ordered from probably a different place because I think that the place that my parents ordered those grapefruits from was in Texas, if I remember correctly, whereas these ones came from Vero Beach, Florida, which is where the Dodgers play their spring training games, interestingly enough. Musky. Am I musky? I just took a shower. I might be a little musky because after I took a shower, ew, ew. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. Talking about the marital relations. What do I do with the seeds? Let's go get the bag of seeds out of the car. We'll put some seeds out for the woodland friends. That'll help kill a little time. We are going to go paint. We're going to go over to the other house and paint in a little bit. Rachel got a surprise phone call from her mom. I wanted to start it over here before we went over there. The seeds are in the back seat, not in the back trunk. Don't fall over, you guys. That's dangerous. Now that's a lot of seeds. It's cold out here. I need to get my glasses and a good jacket. And I like that ginger ale. It's good. Actually, quite reminiscent of 7 Up. Okay. Jacket. And
Oh, thank you so much.
my glasses.
For everything, but for the gift certificate to Lone Wolf.
Oh, you're welcome. It's sitting in the register.
Does it snow where I'm at? Yes, it does snow where I'm at, but it's not snowing right now. It hasn't snowed much this year. If you declare with your mouth Jesus is the Lord and you believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Okay, well, thanks, Derek. Appreciate that. We might be around end times ish, maybe, conceivably. I don't know. I don't think so though. I think we're past medium times, but before end times. Yes, indeed, Winston's mom. We've got big plans for Rachel's 40 birthday. That's right. She turns 40 on Thursday, and we have plans. I have to meet with my doctor on Thursday, get my Adderall refilled. Then we're also going to go to dinner at Frederick's, which is a restaurant in town that Rachel likes that has lobster, which she likes to get on special occasions, you know. And then when we come back, we're going to take mushrooms as well as Adderall and live stream. So those are our plans. Who knows? Maybe we'll sing some karaoke or something. Rachel likes to do that. Well, that's a new one, Kale. I've not heard that before. I think it's not completely inapt comparison. Better than some. Shrooms and Adderall never hurts, right? Winston's mom was with Rachel there for regarding lobster for special occasions. Yeah, Rachel really likes it. It's not often a special enough occasion that we go get fancy dinner like that, but yeah, I could kind of see it for a second too. So let's go stand over here until Rachel gets off the phone. I don't want to broadcast her conversation with her mom, particularly. Not that it's anything private or anything. It's just mostly very boring. Anyway, once she's done with this conversation, we are planning on going over to the other house in a little wilderness car. We got some different paint. So the thing is, what we're trying to paint today and get finished finally before I can actually even start the yeah, I'll trim it pretty soon. Hi, Anel Pupalovic. Welcome to your newness. I'm old. You're new, I'm old. Together we're medium. So, for those who don't know, I'm painting the rental property down the street, and we had a problem with the ceiling in one of the bedrooms. Namely, somebody had put candles on top of like a dresser or something, and they had left soot marks on the ceiling. That's what I assume happened. I don't know for sure. certainly the evidence at hand was consistent with that hypothesis. So I got this other paint the other day to spray onto the. No, I don't flash people in the woods. There's not really any people in the woods. Just plants and stuff. Yeah, only during spring break. All right, here, BZ. There's an early spring break for you. Spring break! Wee, spring break. So the other paint I got for spraying onto the ceiling turned out to be a little yellower than white. And the rest of the ceiling seems to be flat white. So I'm going over there today to hit it with a different brand of paint that's you're welcome, VZ. You're welcome. I know that was quite titillating. But like I said, I only do that during spring break and of course during Mardi Gras if you have beads to offer me. She's still on the phone with her mother. I feel like I'm stuck outside because normally I have the garage door twanger here. I'd be able to go in the garage, get some scissors and stuff. Smoking Marlboro Reds at the moment. No, the spray paint we got. We got this ceiling, specific spray paint for ceilings. So it's like it's mostly to cover over like acoustical tiles that have maybe water stains on them or something. We don't have that, but we have an equivalent kind of scenario. We have popcorn ceiling that has soot marks on it. So the first brand of ceiling spray we got, it said tinted to match acoustic tiles. And I thought maybe that would be good, but turned out a little bit too yellow. So we got one today that said it dries flat white. Basically, I did successfully get the soot stains all covered over with the other one, but it looks a little bit different color. Looks a little yellower than the rest of the ceiling, so we have to go redo that.
And that the cup will really help.
And obviously, I can't begin the walls until I'm done with the ceiling because I'm spray painting the ceiling. So I have to get the ceiling thing dealt with. And of course, when you live where we do, it's a big trip out to town to get things.
Now, you don't have to open that yet if you want to look through the birthday to open it. It's a brownie birthday cake.
So, Rachel's mom sent her a birthday cake. That was nice of her. Her mom's trying, I think, to make up for past failings somewhat with gifts. I guess that's her love language, There. So now I've opened the bag of seeds. Well, the problem is, for instance, Mom, the ceiling is popcorn. So you can't hit it with a roller, That's why I got spray paint for it. If it were flat, like the ceiling in the living room, I would just paint it with a roller. But it's covered in little bumps, I don't know if you know what popcorn ceiling is, but it's just basically like little bumps. Yes, stupid. Popcorn ceilings are so dumb. Why? Anyway, that's why I got to spray paint it white. Because I rollered the ceilings where I could, And they are angel feather. The rest are ceilings in the house, but not in the bedrooms. So we'll be heading over there shortly. I'm just basically waiting for Rachel to get off the phone. I started this and then she got a phone call like at the same moment as I started this. Well, that's if you want to get it off. To make it flat, plain X or a sander. That's if you want to get rid of it. I don't want to go to all the trouble of getting rid of it, you know. I'm just I just wanted to not have soot stains on it. And also now not have yellowy parts on it. So I am sort of coming to I mean feeling pretty enthusiastic about this project. Like I'm excited about getting stuff done, and I could even see myself if I really got a bug up my butt today, not just getting the ceilings done, but maybe later putting some wall on the paint. Hi Kelly Wakasa's #1 fan. Salut. Je m'appelle Zandor. Et j'aime Fortnite et les toilettes de Skibidi. Oh, well. Salut. Je m'appelle Eric. Et non j'aime Fortnite. Et non j'aime les toilettes de Skibidi. Well, mine's from 1981. What does, when did they stop putting, that house is from 81. When did they stop putting asbestos and stuff? If it's after 81, then we're fine. I mean, if it's before 81, they stop putting it in, then we're fine. Let me go put some seeds out. I'll put some on the wall, and I'll put some over there on the ground, too. Okay, good job, Eric. Give the woodland friends some seeds. Huh. So homes built or renovated before the mid-'80s might still contain asbestos and popcorn ceiling. Well,
That is perfect for him.
I mean, I don't really need to worry about that. I don't think causing problems here because it's not like asbestos and insulation that people might breathe in, you know?
You're welcome. Love you too. Bye.
Magic Johnson is going to cry when TikTok gets banned. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Yeah. So, Rachel, are you going to come with me to the other house or no?
I'd like to.
Well, sure. Hi, Mr. Kennedy. Hi, Johnny Doe. I like the font you have for your name, Mr. Kennedy. It looks very typewriter-ish.
My mom got you a little gift from Wilmington, North Carolina.
Is it a cod piece? What it look like? Oh no, it's a guitar spoon.
Yeah,
Well, you know, this might be a good drug spoon.
that's what I was thinking.
I'll take
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I'll just take it out of this little bag. That's cool, I guess. Scoop up weed with that. All right. There are popcorn ceiling paint rollers that won't remove the pops or the corns. Well, the one you take to the new house? Give us the vehicle demo. Okay, sure. I am well, yes. We are on our way over to the rental property to do a little bit of painting. I need to get the ceiling matter resolved before I tackle the walls, obviously, because I don't want to get white spray paint on the walls after I paint them. So we'll give you a little wilderness car tour. Sure, that's fine. Let me accordingly introduce you to the Kawasaki Mule. Meow, 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 meow. Ranch Edition. It's called the Kawasaki Mule Pro FXT Ranch Edition. This little car. It's got a winch. Not the kind of winch that serves you drinks. It's got the extra fancy suspension on it, so it's like super comfortable. It's got 4-wheel drive and 2-wheel drive. This back part, the whole back part tips up if you wanted to tip out rocks or something from the back of it. I'm gonna put these spray paints right there to keep them safe while we're driving. Let's see, what else can I tell you about it? It's got, you know, pretty high clearance, as you can see, so you can go off roads and stuff in it. And it's got electric power steering. Says that. It's got these roll bars here. Not that we ever do gnarly stuff. We don't do gnarly stuff that gets you to roll over. But, you know, if we did, I guess we wouldn't necessarily die. So that's kind of good. It's got a glove compartment. It doesn't work very well. You got to kind of yank it to pull it out. But that's fine. And it's got this windshield with these little vents. You can open or close to make it colder or warmer. It's got a couple of drink holders. One here and one on the other side. And it's got headlights. It's got very bright headlights so that if it's nighttime in the wilderness, you can see everything in front of you. It's got 2 sets of headlights. You could just turn on one set of headlights if you're just driving around the neighborhood, but if you want it really bright, you turn on 2 sets of headlights. And yeah, you can switch it from 4-wheel drive to 2-wheel drive. It's got locking rear differential, locking front differential. I don't know. One of those things. I'm not really a car guy. But yeah, you can lock or unlock. I guess that's helpful if you get stuck. No, we've not tried taking the cats. Yeah, well, we bought it because it was parked in this driveway when we looked at the house. And we weren't going to buy it, but then we got more for our house in LA than we expected. And I was like, let's buy that little car. The guy who previously owned this house, he was a dealer. He's a dealer in these little cars. Also like tractors and stuff. So, I don't know. I like it. It's fun to have. You know, in theory, I could just drive over there in the regular car, I guess. But I prefer to have one of these little cars. A lot of people in this neighborhood have these little cars and drive them around. Oh yeah, we have a regular car too. It's a Mini Cooper. Your voice is so good. Have you ever thought about working as a voice actor? People tell me that all the time, Mr. Kennedy, but I would like to, but I'm not likely to do the legwork to make it happen. Are you Beat Wawona? I don't know what Beat Wawona is. You mean near Wawona? Yeah. Eric, have you ever had another EHP disagree with you on something you thought was objectively correct? Yeah, but probably not. Yeah, we're near Wawona. Kind of. We're on the other side. We're closer to the other entrance of of Yosemite. Do I still talk to Mike? Let me see. Are you talking about Mike Oxlong, Mike Hawk, Mike Hunt, Mike Ox Smells? What? Which Mike are you talking about, Colton? Oh yeah, we've eaten there. Charles Street Dinner House. Charles Street Dinner House. We've eaten there. We are. No, Dixon's last name is Hand, actually, Winston's mom. Dixon Hand. We're gonna go to Frederick's, which is just down the street from Charles Street, on Thursday for Rachel's dinner, for birthday dinner, I mean. No, Mike and I are square. Mike and I are square, yeah. Rachel?
Yep.
Oh, there you are. Are you getting ready?
I'm getting my food done.
Okay. She's coming, you know, chicks just take a little bit of time sometimes to get ready. It's just how it is. I don't think that, yeah, that's a new one. I don't think anybody owes me money. To the best of my knowledge. I was a little disappointed last time we went to Charles Street. That's why we haven't been back since then. We go to either Frederick's or 1850. Oh, maybe I owe Mike money. No, I'm quite sure I don't owe Mike any money. It's both the case that nobody owes me money and it's the case that I don't owe anybody else money. So, probably they've got a different random YouTuber in mind. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and scoop the cat litter while I'm here. While we're waiting for Rachel. For those of you who've left because you were waiting for the painting to begin, well, I'm sorry. I anticipated painting sooner than we ended up painting. But that's fine, because I'm really just killing time till the football game. The Commanders Tampa Bay game last night was quite entertaining. Alright, I did that. Good. I completed that unpleasant task.
Should I lock it?
No, don't lock it. You didn't lock it, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Look what Rachel's brought. Wow. Now, here's something I wasn't expecting to see. Peeps.
Yeah.
Is it Easter?
No. Apparently they sell them all year round down there.
I used to stay at Yosemite Bug Rustic Mountain Hostel for a month or so. Used to go to Mariposa for lunch. Yeah, the Bucks lost. Well, the Texans won. They defeated the Chargers. Tonight, I'm assuming Minnesota's going to defeat the Rams, but I'll be rooting for the Rams, of course, as a former LA resident for most of my life.
Same, even though it wasn't for all of my life, I still feel a kinship with LA.
Yeah. Well, you know, our first moments together were spent there.
Yeah, they were. Isn't that special?
I mean, I guess our first moments together were spent in virtual space.
Yes. Which is kind of cool.
Yeah. It let us get to know each other a little bit more, you know. Anyway, we're gonna be disconnecting here for a minute or so before we reconnect at the other house. See you then. Anyway, I got the paints. Rachel's got the peeps. Together, we're ready for anything. As long as it doesn't require anything except paint or peeps.
It's a paint and beef party.
Yep. It's like the most friendship abusive way of getting someone to paint a house for you. Say, I'm having a peeps party. Everybody come over and paint. Wait, so we're supposed to go paint your house and all you're going to provide all day is peeps? Yeah. Doesn't that sound fun?
That does sound fun.
Let me turn this heater on because it is 0 degrees Celsius in here. 0 degrees Kelvin even. Okay, let's look. Yeah, well, it's in Minnesota, I think. I'm pretty sure. Seems kind of, you can see it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Seems like there's some yellowish, blottish kind of spots. Certainly over here anyway.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna get one of these camper pans. Let me get it. I'll bring it with me. Oh, it's cold. Jesus, cold. It is really cold in here. It's like colder than outside even. Where did I put this? Here, there. So, I don't know if you're aware of this, but they have these paints that shoot upwards. instead of forwards. I think that's very, very good of them to do that. That's very smart. I think what I'm going to do though, let me bring in this. See if we can get a little bit more light in here. Obviously, it doesn't matter if I get paint on this monstrosity. Well, you can kind of see the difference, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's give this a little bit of a squirt here and see how it goes. This one, I guess you just push forward and it squirts up. The other one you push down and it squirts up. This is better. All right, well, so far so good. I already like the brand better just because of how it's designed to push forward to squirt up rather than push down to squirt. All right, stop. Can you stop? Thank you. Obviously, he doesn't like these cameras. Okay. Feel like I've gotten a pretty good job here.
Yeah.
This is a lot easier to use than the one yesterday.
That's good. Hi, Winston's mom.
Okay. Should have gotten all of this covered here. Of course, my pants falling down. All right, well, let's get out of this fumy room for a minute. It's too fumy in here. It's like that room is the king of fumes. All right. Well, we have done a pretty good job of painting that ceiling. There's Rachel. Here I am. There are These are Rubens, never open. Here's some beats to say on them. These are Rubens, never open, even in a million years. We're gonna have to respect that, obviously. Thanks, Vincent Bone. I will pat myself on the back. So, 4 o'clock almost. I'm kind of killing time till around 5 when the football game starts, you know. So maybe what I'll do is I'll go back in there and I'll take off all the little plates around the. Yeah, it's a joke. I'm sure Ruben left that joke for us to enjoy later on. So I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to take off these plates. Like this thing here. Still pretty fumy in here, but that's alright, I guess. Yeah, I like these ones where it doesn't fall out of it. So it's got this thing on it, see? Alright, now let's get this plate here. Like this one, it's not even going to have those convenient kind of screws that don't fall out of it. See? You know, the thing is, it's not like this room is badly painted or anything. It's just a fresh paint job does a lot when it comes to, you know, what kind of impression a place makes. Rachel and I learned today about an estate sale / auction that's happening at a property near here called Butterfly Winery. It's happening this weekend. And we're thinking might go there and see if there's anything for the rental property that would make sense aesthetically and also be, you know, cost effective. Obviously, we don't want to spend a bunch of money on fancy shit for here, but we would like it to look a little bit more cabiny, rustic / barn aesthetic maybe. So we're painting kind of neutrals. You know, this is giving me a neutral brown, like a very light brown, light tan color in there, with a very light blue trim. No, I'm sorry, it's gonna be the white. It's gonna be the angel feather white's gonna be the trim in here. And then in the angel feather white rooms, we're gonna do the blue, which is actually called First Snow, is the color's name. Even though it's called First Snow, it's light blue, it's not white. Alright, there, I got all of those taken off. Good for me. Ceiling's looking good. I think that should solve that problem. I think we got the right product. Should be good to go. Okay, let me turn this light off now. This horrible, horrible, horrible lampshade. Do you not turn off? What's the dealio here? Ah, there. I figured it out. So what Rachel and I were talking about doing is in this room, maybe get a foosball table and then have a little couch that's a hideaway bed in there. This goes in the other bedroom there, along with this box spring. Then we probably just this box spring right there. Then we probably just disinflate the inflatable mattress that's in there. Just still leave it in here somewhere in case people, I don't know, don't like the hideaway bed or something. Hide-a-bed, whatever that's called. My parents called it a few different things. Hide-a-bed, hideaway bed, roll-away bed, fold-away bed, probably. They called it a few different things.
We called it a pull-out couch.
A pull-out couch, huh? It's got a lot of different names.
Yeah, it does.
That smells good. Can I have some of that?
The weed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you might want to pack a freshie for you.
A freshie, huh? Nice stove. Yeah, it's not a bad stove in here. It doesn't have bad appliances at
The
all.
appliances are nice. They've been updated.
This stove, I would say, is nicer than our stove at home.
Or did you mean the wood stove?
Oh, you mean that? Yeah, that's a fireplace. It's a wood fireplace. So the good thing about that is, if it's cold and you're visiting, and you want that rustic experience, you can have a real wood fire, which we can't have at our house. So it's one of the nice things about this place. Like the neighbors said, they have a wood fireplace, our neighbors do. And they're like, oh yeah, we build fires a lot during the winter because it's too expensive to heat your house just with propane, which is true, it gets expensive.
Yeah.
In California have I used a cookie on top of that? Maybe you could cook on top of this. I think it's.
I don't think so. It's a little bit more modern. In the olden days, they used to have it, but I don't think it's meant to be cooked
I don't
on.
think it's meant to be cooked on, but I suppose you probably
You could.
Right?
Yeah, you could.
I'm not sure. It does have like a surface on top that, like, in theory, you clean that shit off, put some firewood in there and stuff. I could see myself spraying some Pam on the top of it and just cracking some eggs right there. Just having some wood stove eggs. What's remaining? Like, what do we still have to do? Well, I got to do all the trim in here and in the kitchen. I got to do all the trim in here in the kitchen. I've got to do still the bathroom, which we actually hired someone to paint, and they did a terrible job after repainting. And I don't like the color anyway. So, like, this is a terrible job they did. They painted over this sticker. It needs to come off, obviously. So I have to repaint the bathroom. And there's some other like. Did you poop over here?
No.
Maybe I pooped over here.
Should we start locking the door?
Maybe we should. But I don't see any sign of anybody being in here.
Well, there's poop that from no one.
No, you're not wrong, but I would guess maybe that was from me. I guess we should start locking the door. I don't want some stranger's poop in my toilet. No, I know it wasn't her. Well, you know, into every life a little mystery poop must fall. That's what they say.
Mystery poop.
Yeah. I suppose there are a few other things. It's possible I didn't flush it last time I was here and pooped or something. Certainly plausible. More likely than somebody breaking in here and leaving no sign whatsoever that they've been here except for a poop in the toilet. Like, you know, there's liquor bottles right here, a little bit of liquor at the bottom of them. You figure if somebody were breaking in here, they'd probably drink that.
You'd think.
But maybe not. Maybe they're recovering alcoholic random house poopers. Maybe that's their disease.
Yeah.
They go around and poop in random houses. No, I've been here many times since that painter. Oh, the bathroom painter painted the toilet. No. Maybe somebody slept in here. I mean, it's not inconceivable, but if anybody is sleeping in here, they're leaving no sign of their presence, you know? Except for that poop.
And that stuff that is found on the table.
Oh yeah, that's right. That I thought might very well have been left by the painter. That I have a reasonable suspect of who might have left that. But it could be, you know. I'm gonna look at this stuff on the table now that I'm thinking about it. This mystery powder. Sure looks like someone was cutting up rails, but I don't know what it is. Might be some kind of paint dust or something. Thing is, in that dust I was looking at with my glasses on, there's actually a couple of fingerprints, so
Oh.
we could get a detective over here.
You could.
Have to do a line of coke first to build up the balls to shit in a stranger's house only to leave. Maybe. So that's not the right color for coke.
No. It's kind of more like Carolyn.
Or it looks kind of like dirty chopped up arrow.
That too.
No, this house doesn't have, well, I guess it does have a shed, sort of. It's got an underneath part. I wouldn't call it a shed per se, but it is a place to store stuff. I guess I'll probably keep that locked unless there's something specific we want them to have access to that we store down there. This MF been living, ha ha ha. Yo, Lyndon. Oh no, if you rent the place, you could definitely do coke in it, especially if you invite me over. I look like Shaq. I've never heard that one before.
It's new.
Yeah. I hit that.
Of course. I don't mean to be hogging it.
No, you're not hogging it. You know what would be really trippy, Rachel, is if we go home and there's a poop in the toilet at home.
That'd be crazy.
I look like the Kimbe Matumbo. That's fine too. No, it's not the case, Darko Crew. We had the leach lines replaced, and we had like $6,000 worth of work done to it. So it's good to go. And we had it done, like, actually licensed by the county and stuff, so.
So in my package is kind of requests from my mom.
Oh, that's your lipstick that's on there.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine. I just didn't know what it was. I was like, is that bong resin or something? No, it's just your lipstick. I do look a lot like Lamar Jackson crossed with John Cena, crossed with this old house.
So my mom sends candles, birthday brownies, and icing that needs to be put on top.
Okay, we'll do that for when we get back after dinner, I guess, on Thursday.
Yeah.
Cool.
She'd like a picture of it too.
Okay. So that sounds fine. That sounds good.
There's also a happy birthday banner that she would like to be hung.
Fair enough. We'll put it up.
Okay. Thank you for going along with it.
We'll have your cake beneath the banner, blowing out the candles, and me standing by and reverently applauding.
Aww.
We're vacationing on the sun in most of California. You guys get lonely in Mariposa, especially after living in LA? Not really. Every once in a while I do feel a little lonely, but that's probably not really how I feel so much as if I'm in a dark mood, that's where it goes, I guess. She sounds generous but controlling.
You're not wrong here, Orlando.
You are not wrong. She's, I think she's trying to repair her relationship with Rachel via gifts and stuff. It's probably her love language.
It is, and it's a big one being 40, like, you know.
It is a big birthday.
So
That's
it's her
true.
way of like
Acknowledging that you are a human being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also got a $100 gift certificate to Lone Wolf Jewelry.
Is that here in town?
Yeah. Where you got my ring.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Uh-huh.
How did she manage to do that?
She called them, and It's at the registry. It's at the register. So
Or
you
you
have
just
to
go
go
in
up
and
there.
tell them?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's, like that's kind of the impressive shit that ESTJs pull off, right?
Yeah.
Rachel, almost every female I know and or knew, including me, says our 40s are killer.
My mom said the same thing basically. I'm looking forward to it.
Winston's mom said as a compliment we are peaking in our 40s.
Yeah, I took it as a compliment.
I'm not going to start peaking until my 70s.
I hope I peak with you at the same time.
I hope so too. I know all about the difficulties in Los Angeles. My daughter had to evacuate. Her friend Cameron had to evacuate. My daughter didn't have to evacuate, but she was like level 2 or something.
Yeah, she had no power for 2 days, so.
I was from Arcadia, Carmen's Pimp. That's true.
I'm sorry to hear that, Acacia. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's terrible. Does she have insurance?
I mean, that's.
Is that an F54 thing to say? Like,
I'm just thinking, like, how you use everything.
Yeah. I was thinking about that INTP one time who told me, yeah, she's on her phone. And I'm on my phone. We're not cousins, but we share perhaps like a great grandfather or something, me and Snoop. I'm not sure. FEMA, I'm not sure if they really ever actually help with anything, but maybe they do. Who knows? What I would say is I'm remembering the instance of the INTP who related a story from his childhood where a friend was heartbroken over their dog dying, and he said, well, how much do new dogs cost? That's very FI back slot. It is still sunlight here, but it is 4:20. Oh, it's 4:20.
420.
Maybe we should pack another bowl. And like I mentioned, I'm more or less just kind of killing time till the football game. Thought I'd get a little something productive accomplished.
Good blowing.
Yeah, but
Sorry. Is this clogged?
it's a little bit clogged.
Johnny Doe asks, what made you come to Mariposa from LA?
We just wanted to get out of the city, I think. I wanted to get out of LA. I always kind of had a vision of if I had the opportunity, I would like to live in the mountains. But
Yeah,
never really seriously never thought about it as a serious thing that would ever happen. Well, I'm actually Arnold Schwarzenegger's trainer. That's why we have the same build. My trainer was Bruce Lee, but he died a while back. I was just a little kid when he stopped training me because he died. Eli J. in Blue Ridge, Georgia. You never visit Yosemite now that you're in Mariposa. That's true. However, it's also true that we never visited Yosemite before we were in Mariposa either. So nothing's changed. I had never even been to Yosemite. No, I'm Minute Rice.
You literally were looking for places in the mountain, and I, at the same time, was using that astrology app
Yeah.
to see what place would be best for us to live.
And it turns out that Mariposa is astrologically compatible with both me and Rachel.
Yeah.
You might say, is that really a good way to pick where you live? I'd say yes, it is. Yes, I do think so. Why not? Why is it any worse than any other way to pick?
I mean, it did help us narrow down a place to look at.
Yeah, it gave us an answer whereas prior we really had none.
Yeah.
You never been further west than Alhambra? I have watched a little bit of Yosemite Sam, I suppose. Carmen's Trump's only been to Cali as a kid. Well, they didn't pay me anything. Being Breaking Bad. Now this has little bits of white paint on it. Well, that's okay. I'll just wipe off the camera part and it should be fine. There. Do I not have my cigarettes with me? No, I do. Okay. I was about to just freak out. Everybody freak out. No, my favorite place is in Catalina Island. So this is behind the house here. It probably doesn't go very far back, but there's just a hill behind it, which is nice. Yeah. Well, that happens all the time. People are always saying, Ralph Macchio, is that you? When they see me. And if not him, they'll say, Frankie Munoz, is that you? Sometimes I'll get, Margaret Thatcher, you're still alive? Smell you later, Acacia. Good area to look for Sasquatch, yeah. I'm 6'5"-ish, 6'4", 6'5". Frankie Munoz has memory issues? Does he? Why does he have memory issues? Because you could say I'm 6'5" in flip-flops or so. You know? A little bit less than 6'5". I am going to get a shave and a haircut too, Pitts. I'm just not going to do it right this second. Just have to be a little bit patient. Alright, so we're going to lock these doors today. And we'll find out if there's any more mystery poop. He says he doesn't remember making any of the Malcolm in the Middle episodes. Well, he was a kid. I mean, you know. He's not SI Frestack. He might be, he might not be particularly detail-oriented in terms of his memories. Hi, Joshua Ward. It's not morning, it's evening time here. The sun is heading down behind the mountains over there. dropping down below the horizon line. He has amnesia? Why does he have amnesia? How does he have amnesia? Is this true about Frankie Muniz? He has amnesia? Oh, okay. Well, when I get home, I'll look it up. Do I believe in aliens? Not really. I'm not actually sure how my memory last started. I've had 9 concussions. How did he get 9 concussions? Like, did he play football or something? Got a point there. Racing, huh? Like car racing? Or horse racing? What's my stance on Bigfoot? I think Bigfoot is probably not real. You know, I think that there's plenty of interesting car racing is his passion, huh? Too bad his passion wasn't wearing helmets. Nobody's passion is ever being safe, really. Oh, Rachel's passion is kind of being safe. She's pretty into being safe.
I am. I would say that.
Gigantopithecus was real? Well, maybe. But even if you could make the claim that the species existed sometime in the past, I've yet to be convinced that it exists in any meaningful sense in the present. And in response to a lot of the perfectly reasonable, skeptical arguments people raise, I've heard a lot of like magical woohoo, you know. Obviously, there's a community of people who want Bigfoot to be simply a regular creature that. I'm gonna turn on these lights. Like a regular creature that the scientific community will acknowledge or something. And then there's people who want it's a little bit better. Then there's the people who want it to be like spirit creatures from another dimension or something. So, you know that the year prior to Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight, Mike had 9 blood transfusions? I did not know that. Have you guys made friends in Mariposa, or do your LA friends come to visit? Well, we're friends with the neighbors and the neighbor's friend, and we're not that active in the community, you know? It's like we're a little you know, we're streaky. We have streaks of activity and streaks of inactivity. No, I was never on the Gong Show. The master is at hand, huh? Who's the master? Rejoice in your words, great elder. Okay. I could potentially Joyce for the first time. I'm not sure if I could rejoice. right now because I haven't done the initial joisting. Rejoice today in my vision. Rejoice today and be okay. We cannot do anything. My best reaction. What a great song. What a depressing line of thought. To see someone's life be wasted like that. Well, shit happens, I guess. Shit happens and then you die. All right, I think it's time to go back to our house where we live rather than this house where we are painting. And this time we're going to turn off the lights. I mean, not just turn off the lights. Yeah, we usually do that. We're going to additionally lock the door this time. Hopefully, thereby preventing any mystery poop. Turn this light off as well. Okay. My feet are so cold. And I'll tell you why.
Oh.
Because I've got on inappropriate footwear. True. Get this one. Okay. And this one. There we go. I turned off that already. And we can turn on this one. Like that. Lock this door. Like so. Make sure we have the keys.
Side door locked?
Yeah, that one's locked. Now we got the keys. We got everything locked. We're good to go.
Can we check the mailbox
For this house?
to the other house?
Oh, sure. Oh, I don't have the key. I don't have the.
House too, if you want.
I don't have the key to that mailbox with me. Okay, let's look underneath here. I don't see any sign of any shenanigans or anything. All right. I don't know. There might be something in the mailbox from yesterday or whatever, but today's mail should put with the packages. Did you hear me?
What?
I said there might be mail from yesterday or something, but today's mail she put with the packages.
My mom just... I told my mom that I would look because her friend Laura sent a birthday card.
I see.
Yeah. So...
Oops.
You don't have the keys though, right? To the mailbox? Okay, then. Forget it. I'll do it later or tomorrow.
Okay.
I just have to open Zandy's gift. Thank you.
let's get home before it gets any colder.
Yeah, or darker.
Yeah. Because I am free diddly easy.
Same. I love you.
I love you too, darling. All right, folks. We will see you back at home for at least a little while before the football game starts. In the meantime, you just sit tight and enjoy the ride. Well, if you guys are anything like me, you're a little bit frozen right now.
Me too. Yeah, it's like down to my bones.
I guess I didn't turn off the TV.
It smells nice in here.
Smells like stranger poop. What? Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
I guess it's good. It gets me to turn this off more often and leave it on less often. So, once in a while, then I'll forget to turn it off. It's nice and warm in here.
Isn't it?
Yeah. $4:43, cool. So we're gonna be chilling for about 15 more minutes, then I'll probably turn this live stream off when the football game starts. Let's see what this says here. Everything's loaded on there, just hidden and locked. So if you can jailbreak your truck, which sounds weird to say. I have not heard about that. People using Tesla trucks as like free hotspots or something. We don't have Starlink. We have something much better than Starlink. We have fiber. Hi, Squiggles. Squiggle, squiggle, squags, says Squiggles. Rachel's big 4-0 is coming up. She's getting presents in the mail. We've got plans coming for Thursday. Lots of exciting stuff going on. First stream in action. Oh, this is your first stream you've attended? You know, I didn't attend really live streams for a long time myself. I've attended a few more recently, but it certainly isn't the primary medium of YouTube, right? It's like YouTube's primarily for I mostly watch long form videos.
This is a gift for you from Zandy and Justin.
Oh my god.
Isn't that wonderful?
I am anointed as fuck. It's wonderful. I do kind of wish it just said anointed AF, but that's fine. This is pretty fantastic for doing this.
It is.
That's great. I'm gonna put this shirt on. And for those of you who don't know, anointed is in some like kind of more culty Christian religions means you're like special, like you're a saint or something. I'm gonna put this shirt on. Basically, you can't question what I say. It's true because I'm anointed. This is how I enter into my life as a real official cult leader. Oh, yeah. That's right. I am that anointed. Okay, I'm going to pull up the live stream here on the big screen for a second or two. And we will see. I like the black shirt on me. It looks nice, actually. I'm a chosen one. That's right. Football predictions. I ignored them for the longest time when YouTube kept suggesting lives when I'd flipped through reels, but I finally caved. Now I spend way too much time in a handful of lives. Well, I'm glad to be a part of that handful. Thank you for that. Why do I not show you my rock solid washboard abs? Because I'm modest. I'm a modest boy, okay? I'm wearing modesty pants instead of short pants, for example. Or as I call them, my slut pants. There's a wild and interesting theory that America was the first Egypt and Israel, the first Holy Land, the first land piece that broke off, and everything else came from America. Sounds right to me. Everything comes from America. Everything good. Football. You know, nuclear bombs. Everything. Everything good comes from America. What more proof do you need then? Nuclear bombs and football. Oh, really, Darko? That's interesting. A friend of Darker Courage just told him a theory, is a very liberal use of the word theory, that black people were already here in America, just waiting to be enslaved. That's silly. How much longer you think we're gonna have to wait here till some masters show up? Oh, that's silly. Obviously, that's not how it worked, where it went down.
Handsome.
Thanks, darling.
You're welcome.
Basically, the real theory says this. Not only does everything come from America, but America is actually the center of the galaxy. It's the center of the solar system. Everything in the solar system revolves around America. And then everything in the galaxy revolves around our solar system. So, oh, we did them a favor, huh? By bringing in more. You guys seem lonely. You guys seem like you could use some friends. Yeah, that's an interesting fiction, but definitely just a fiction. I can assure everybody, though, that I have not enslaved any people of any race. Can you believe California tried seceding from the U.S.? When did it try to secede from the U.S.? C.S. Joseph is saying that FJ is an INFP. Thoughts? He's wrong. Frank James is an INFJ. How do we know this? Well, he's from America. And America is where everything's from. So, there you go. It's only patriotic to believe him to be an INFJ. That is a touchy subject. I just think it's funny. I don't care. I'm not sensitive. I'm fluidly transracial. I've been every race. I've been fully enslaved. I've been fully free. I've been all things to all people in all ways. So, you know. Well, it depends what you're theorizing about, right? So, like, if you're theorizing about the relationship between individuals and time, you might have a theory like the general theory of relativity. I can name shit tons of American foods. Mexican food, Chinese food, Italian food. They're all American food. Where do you think those countries come from? America. Man, I should have been over. I should have been here over an hour ago saying what I was doing. What were you doing? Well, you know, a little while ago we weren't doing. We weren't really chatting that much. I was over at the other house doing a little bit of painting. Like, theory and scientific theory are subtly different. Well, I mean, people use the word to mean different things in different ways, right? But by and large, in science, when people use the word theory, they mean an explanation for something that needs an explanation. And whether or not the so called theory actually explains things, that's, you know. German food is also American. Guacamole. Everything's American. Panda Express, Taco Bell. These are American companies. You know that China didn't even have Chinese food until we invented it? It's true. They just had gross, like, weird stuff. Like, they just ate, like, bugs and ducks. Now, they have real Chinese food. Thanks to the majesty of Panda Express and other Chinese takeout restaurants. If you try to go to China and get Chinese food, you're going to discover you get some gross, weird tasting stuff, okay? Called stinky little lamb. I've been to China, I know. If you get so scared that you wet the bed, well, you know, some woke women asked why we invented gravity. We don't need it. Well, I mean, they don't sound very woke to me. They sound kind of asleep on gravity. Don't sleep on gravity. That's what they say. You know, they're like the Chiefs. They may not seem like the best team, but they'll probably win the Super Bowl again anyway. Didn't Chinese royalty claim to be of dragon blood? Maybe. I don't have any dragon blood in me. I'm 100% pure lizard person. Yeah, I know it's almost football time. Now, I'm not predicting the Chiefs to win it all this year. I don't Who's my pick? Well, maybe the Ravens. Well, that's not who I would like to win. I'd like to see the Lions win. They haven't won in a long time. I was impressed with the Commanders' um, sort of guttiness yesterday, but Britain is actually an American colony. Do debate kids get bullied in high school? I mean, maybe it depends on. I don't know what it's like these days. The Detroit Lions are going to win it, says Putty Cat. Well, that's my hope because they could use it, I think. My second choice is the Minnesota Vikings. Assuming the Rams can't win it, I guess I'll root for the Rams as my historical home team. Thai food, Indian food, and Japanese food are all American in origin. Prior to America introducing Japan to fish, they just ate rice. They had nothing but rice. What would I do if you see a screaming Viking running towards you? Well, that's why I've started my organization, RAVE, Racists Against Vikings E. And people often ask me, what does the E stand for? It just stands for E. But it's an organization that allows racists to come together over their shared dislike of Vikings, with the perfectly reasonable justification that Vikings will pillage you if you don't make them go away. That BBC stare. Yeah. Welcome to the BBC. I'm Eric. Tonight on the BBC, we'll be discussing British stuff. Price of tea is up. 5 cents a gockle. In Britain, they measure tea by the gockle.
By the cockle?
Yeah.
How much is a lot of tea?
It's like a gockle of tea is about half a barrel of tea.
Wow, they drink a lot of tea.
Yeah. Well, that's the wholesale units they sell.
Oh,
sell
right.
it at.
Oh, so when you buy wholesale, you get 4 goggles.
Yeah, well, it's like barrels of oil. Nobody actually buys a barrel of oil, right? Except for companies that make gasoline.
Yeah.
But they still charge it in barrels of oil.
Oh.
Just like gockles of tea. Sunday roast prices are soaring too, yeah. A goggle's formally defined as half a gurn. When I was a kid, my dad found a pair of German boots which he sent to the museum to get authenticated. Came back as Hitler's boots, and recently we found a plate which is believed to be Hitler's plate by test. Well, good for you. I think that water is probably wetter than dry, but is it wetter than moist? That's the question. Is it wetter than damp? Is it wetter than sopping? What's blood libel? It sounds like a spell you cast in a Dungeons and Dragons legal game. There's an AI I translated speech of Hitler that's gone pretty viral. Really? Why? What's gone viral about it? I lost a few stones this month. A few stones worth of weight. How much is a stone in terms of weight? How many stones do I weigh? Assuming I'm 180-ish pounds. How many stones do I weigh? Let's find out. And let's start this football game up here. I think I'm going to not live stream during the game, so you can just kind of pay attention to the game. Watch on ABC 30, start from the beginning. But here's the deal. It says it starts at 5 o'clock, but it doesn't really start at 5 o'clock. Like, let's talk about them.
To a very slow start, they were 1-4. They were dangling players. It seemed at the trading deadline, but they got it together. They got rest in week 18.
They're a dangerous opponent. Well, that's good to hear. I'd like to see the Rams defeat the Vikings. You laughed learning about capybaras riding gators. It wasn't that surprising? Solid Fitzgerald? I was surprised to learn that too. It makes me really impressed with capybaras. Their power of persuasion, you know? Okay. I'm going to do a bunch of fire stuff now. Cooper Kupp is being interviewed. Hi, Capillo. So I'm gonna stay streaming just until kickoff. Once they kick the ball off, I'm gonna end the stream. I'm going to yeah, I know they got a lot of Riz, obviously. If you were to meet one at a bar, you'd probably end up going home with it. They would walk up to you, just be like, "Sup, sup, hey girl, sup," and panties would just drop immediately. Sam Darnold's first career playoff game. Funny thing is, Darnold was a career backup at USC. I don't think he ever even started for one full season. So, maybe he did. Maybe he started one season. I didn't think about Sam Castle. My old manager would do bets. Would you do bets on some after betting games? I'm not allowed to bet games here in California. No, I don't really make any money off YouTube. Maybe like $100 a month or something. Darko Crude, don't get me started on the ridiculousness of evolution. Okay, but just because evolution's bullshit doesn't mean that you should be questioning everything, okay?
It's a good lesson.
Do I ever think the Panthers will become good again? I don't know. I don't pay much attention to the Carolina Panthers. I typically don't like teams from Carolina, either North or South Carolina. But evolution is bullshit.
Meow.
Yes. No, we should. That's not the case, Darko Crude. So there's good reason you're not questioning evolution, okay? The thing about evolution, the reason it's bullshit is because it's making a claim to explain something, but it fails to meet the burden of the affirmation to do so. In other words, it needs to establish an actual explanation that makes sense, etc. Blah blah blah. It has failed to make its case and has continually changed what its explanation is over the course of many years, and is obviously just complete garbage. It does not explain where species come from in any meaningful sense. It meets none of the criteria it needs to meet to do so. No, I'm not presenting an alternate explanation. I'm not saying we should believe in creationism, okay? Creationism is not an explanation either. What I'm saying is, in a real science theory, like, say, relativity, it made predictions that then get tested by empirics when the ability to test those ideas come into technological fruition. And then the predictions get validated. That's not what's happened with evolution at all. But it's not a pet peeve. It's just one of those things that everybody's catastrophically wrong about for reasons related to people not understanding how cases are made and what burdens are and stuff. Obviously, I am not advocating in favor of creationism as an explanation, because that is also not an explanation. A real explanation of where species come from would provide a mechanism that both was validated either as gradualism or as something else, specifically in the fossil record, and it would have a mechanism that we could actually test in the lab. If the mechanism is so slow as to be gradualism, it should still not matter because you've got different lengths of generation of species. So you should be able to validate it out. Unfortunately, it hasn't validated. I think we'd all love to have a meaningful explanation of where species come from, but evolution is not it. Like one long-running experiment with 70,000 plus generations of fruit flies, which is equivalent to over 1 million years of human evolutionary time. And guess what? They're all still fruit flies. I mean, how slowly are they evolving? So, the reason people believe in evolution is because, number one, they think it's the alternative to creationism. But number two, most of all, they don't understand what they're trying to get from something, right? What we're trying to get from an explanation of speciation is the ability to speciate ourselves, to genuinely produce different species as defined by able to produce a reproductively viable offspring. We cannot do that applying the mechanisms articulated by evolution, which is a mishmash of different things. There was originally Darwinian evolution, which talked about sexual selection of desirable mutations. Then there was punctuated equilibrium, there was the nearly neutral theory, the neutral theory, there was genetic drift, there have been the bottleneck notion and founder's effect, and infinite concentric circles trying to justify this fundamentally unsound notion that speciation occurs through genetic diversity and genetic change over time by a sexual selection, especially. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense beyond a population of a certain number, regardless of what you think, you know? It's like, I'm not an idiot. If it explained things, I understand the explanation. I'd be delighted by the understanding of it. I was delighted the other day to learn this fact about how relativity came about as a theory, right? Which is this idea of a light clock that all it does is it bounces a photon of light back and forth between two plates, and it measures the amount of time that's passed accordingly. Because the speed of light is constant, right? But it showed how you can only go so fast. It explained how you can only go so fast because the speed of light is constant. Inside the spaceship, this is constant and not changing at all. But outside the spaceship, right, the distance the light has to travel is further and further the faster the spaceship goes. And so this is one intuitive way of grasping the idea that, in fact, you can't travel faster than the speed of light. It's one reason why you can't. It's a good justification. It's a good explanation. It's a good intellectual test, right? It's a good thought experiment. Unlike everything in evolution, which is pure fucking garbage. So I'm not opposed to evolution being correct for some stupid reason, like I'm a creationist. I would love for it to be correct. It just needs to actually do its job and do something intellectually that's meaningful. And it doesn't. Like, people need to remember their philosophy comes first. If it doesn't validate philosophically, it's not going to validate at all. Like, you know that species, the whole idea of species changing over time into splitting into different species is flawed because it's contradictory with how we define species. It creates an internal contradiction in terms of contradictory premises in the outset before it even gets started. Accordingly, it has zero chance of being correct. But it's like nobody wants to accept that justification for why it's wrong, even though it is wrong. Even though that is a perfectly good explanation for why it's wrong. Other people are not nearly as good as I am at figuring out what validates and what doesn't. Like, take for example the difference between evolution and heliocentric universe, or heliocentric solar system. And vaguely spherical bodies in space. So we can understand the seasons and a bunch of other things using round balls as models for planets and light sources as a model for the sun. And we can understand how various phenomena that we observe make sense if explained like this and don't if explained some other way, right? We've no reason not to believe the Earth is globular, given that the moon clearly is. So, I mean, not the Earth has to be the same as the moon necessarily, but we're operating within a system that's got multiple bodies in it that we can see at varying degrees of clarity with telescopes and stuff, right? Like, I can go outside and observe the satellites going overhead. there's not really an explanation proffered other than that makes anywhere close to as good intuitive sense as you've got a body that, you know, warps space-time in such a way that it becomes a well where something would orbit around it. That would explain its regular circular pattern of going around, right? For something like a satellite. That's, you know, things all fit together to make sense. So if you want to question the legitimacy of that kind of explanation, then you need to first counter the existing explanation, and second, provide a preferable explanation, because so many things make so much sense if you accept some of those basic facts, like there's a solar system and there's different planets in it, and we're one of the planets, and it's basically globular and stuff. Now, note the difference for the level of proof for an explanation like that, which really needs to consistently provide additional explanations for other phenomena. Everything needs to fit, right? Versus, say, an event. If you want to be skeptical of a moon landing, well, that's a single event. It's conceivable that human beings could conspire to fake something like that, right? I'm not saying you should believe the moon landing was fake, but I'm not saying, but it's much more reasonable thing to be skeptical about. In contrast, let's look at evolution. Evolution fails to do what a heliocentric solar system does. It fails to provide explanations consistent with the phenomena we see. Consistently and across the board does it fail. It fails in all the ways that science is supposed to validate itself honestly. And the reason it's been allowed to escape this kind of validation scrutiny that one normally expects from a accountability forum like science is because it's been positioned as the alternative to creationism rather than positioned as a theory that's expected to do what a science theory does, which is actually fucking explain things. So anyway, that's everything you need to know really about evolution. I'm going to end this stream now. I want to thank you all for being here, because I'm going to watch this football game and I don't want to get all upset about evolution. So good night, good luck, and have a sweet dream. Just one.